Indeed, one of the key highlights of the Expo here in Japan, the event that signaled Kenya Week, included a kickoff which was dubbed Kenya Diaspora Networking Dinner, which was graced by government officials, including CS Lee Kenyanjui, where Kenyans living in Japan, together with students, investors, and stakeholders, came together to find or to deliberate on modalities or ways that they can leverage the markets here in Japan and East Asia. And one of the things that came up was having direct flights, challenges like the cost of freight, the cost of production. They deliberated on it. I was in that dinner and I compiled the following report. At the heart of Osaka International Convention Center, the spirit of Kenya shone brightly as Kenya Week at Expo 2025 officially began. The Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency, KEPROBA, hosted a diaspora networking dinner, bringing together Kenyan professionals, entrepreneurs, students, and community leaders living in Japan. The event aimed to unite Kenyans abroad under one purpose, leveraging diaspora potential to fuel Kenya's socio-economic growth. Among those in attendance were Cabinet Secretary for Investment, Trade and Industry, Honorable Lee Kenyanjui, who emphasized on how Kenya is leveraging on labor mobility agreements.
The government has started what we call a labor mobility program, which I'm sure you're aware. And we were just doing the numbers, and this year alone we have about 400,000 Kenyans who have gone to work abroad. Now, that number, if you compare with previous numbers, you will realize that it's a huge number. I mean, the growth is exponential. And what that simply means is that if we continue this way, maybe in the next 3, 4, 5 years, the number of Kenyans who will be working abroad will be huge enough to impact the local economy.
Kenya's ambassador to Japan, Mr. Moi Lemoshira, and KEPROBA's top leadership, including CEO Floyd Mukabana. In her speech, Ms. Mukabana underscored the critical role of the diaspora in shaping Kenya's global image, pointing to opportunities in key sectors such as tourism, sports, and trade.
Kenyan exports has increased by 10.4% in 2024, reaching Kenya shillings 1.1 trillion, with top sectors being horticulture, tea, textiles and apparel, and coffee. We also are seeking partnerships to promote Kenya as a preferred destination for trade, investment and tourism. Your personal stories and networks can influence Japan travelers and even open niche tours. For example, we can start thinking about tea estate farm trips, cultural heritage, and among others. We can leverage on Japanese business networks built over the years to introduce Kenyan products into Northeast Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, and Pacific, creating a regional export expansion base.
The dinner also featured presentations from institutions like the Kenya Tourism Board, Kenyatta International Convention Center, and others, highlighting the opportunities that Kenya portends for trade, investment, and travel. The fever pitch of the event included a thought-provoking panel titled From Personal Networks to National Gain, where panelists explored how Kenyans in Japan can help in expanding the country's export footprint through trade facilitation, cultural marketing, and strategic partnerships. As the night came to a close, there was only one collective action: that Kenyans in Japan must be ambassadors of Brand Kenya, promoting not just individual success, but national pride and prosperity. Now, the second event that I witnessed here in Osaka, Japan, signaling Kenya's activities within the Kenya Week, was an event called Kenya Run at the Expo, where Japanese participants and Kenyan participants, together with Kenyan athletes, came together for a marathon that took place on Sunday morning. Here are the highlights of that event. The mini marathon attracted participants from Japan and athletes from Kenya, as well as Expo visitors. Some of the elite runners who graced and participated in the event included Lorna Kiplagat, Abel Kirui, Dennis Kimeto, Vivian Cheriot, Sally Kipiegon, Edward Waweru, among others. Kenya is using such platforms to position itself as a destination for sports tourism, inviting international athletes to train in its famed high-altitude regions. Speaking at the event, the Cabinet Secretary at the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry, Ali Kenyanjui, said that Kenya recognizes the potential of sports to contribute to social, economic and cultural development.
This recognition is reflected in the government's effort to promote sports, develop infrastructure and empower young people through the participation in sports. Kenya's foreign policy equally recognizes the sports diplomacy as an integral component under the cultural diplomacy pillar.
Alongside the marathon, the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency seized the moment to spotlight the flower activation event. As the event wrapped up, participants left not only with medals, but with a lasting impression of Kenya's dual strength in athletics and horticulture. The Kenya Week Expo Osaka continues through June 25th with business forums, cultural showcases and networking sessions, all aimed at enhancing ties between Kenya and Japan.